Alright, guys, this is one that I have yet to talk about. It is by far the strangest season of movie watching. It does qualify as a season because it is a few weeks long. And I think for now we're just going to call this the late fall season of movie watching. I thought about calling it the November season of movie watching, but that'd be confusing because people would think it should include Thanksgiving movies, so scrap that. And then also thought about calling it the post Horror Fest season of movie watching, but it's kind of not good to have other seasons involved in the names of different seasons. So we'll just for now call it the late fall season of movie watching, just for lack of a better title. So this one runs from the first day after Horror Fest, which is November the 1st, through the Sunday before Thanksgiving. And this year that day would be the 23rd. So that's a pretty good chunk of days. And it's just a weird time because usually there's no like real specific must watches for this at all, like every year. And so basically it's comprised of some of our second tier Christian films. So there's none of the Cristiano films, some of those like lesser known short films, Christian films, and then go through some of these Mormon Latter-day Saints films too, and then just a few others that are kind of related to the time of year. Alright, so it's just a weird time between the flurry of Horror Fest and then the little Thanksgiving fest that we have. So the one must watch for this year, this changes from year to year, but I think this one is pretty much a must watch every year. It's called The Mailbox, 1977. It's a Latter-day Saints film. Doesn't have any kind of real like obvious Latter-day Saints messages in it. Good for anyone to watch. And this one is a short film, 24 minutes, starring Leth Teitch and Rachel Jacobs, Rebecca Glade, and then Alan Nash as the mailman. Alan Nash was in Beyond and Back as playing Benjamin Franklin. Beyond and Back, one of our must watches for the end of summer, beginning of fall season of movie watching. Here he is at the late fall. I don't want to call it the end of fall, okay? It's not really the end of, we don't end fall with this season of movie watching. So this one, it's got a real November feel to it. It's got it's a really nice little drama. Leth Teitch is the old woman who goes to her mailbox every day, and I just really like this film. It's a very engaging film, and it's got a lot of good atmosphere with a kind of cold, the trail she walks down to the mailbox, and it's a good story. So this is really the only must watch for this year. A couple of the films on the others list can be put here some years, but this year just one. All right. So our others are basically, we have some, these are our second tier Christian films. These aren't all of them. These are just all the ones I could really think of. You could add more here, but this chunk here is the, I'll just put Christian. So we have The Healing, 1983, which I've never seen. Looks like a pretty good one. Future Tense, 1990. That's solid. But this is actually more like a kind of spring season others. But Love Note, 1986, is a very cringy film. I've seen it maybe 2 times now. I think I want to give it one more chance. There's just some real cringy parts in it. but there's also some really good parts in it. So Love Note, 1986, and then One in a Million, 1986, I've only seen one time, and it's pretty quick, it's under 30 minutes, but it's worth another watch. Coach, 1983, is more like a full length, close to a full length, like an hour and 10 minutes or something like that, but this one I've only seen once, I kinda like to give it another shot. And then Face in the Mirror, 1982, which would be one of the greatest Christian films of all time, except the second half, a little bit of a downer, a little bit of a dud. The first half is really, really good. Face in the Mirror, 1982. All right, about a kid in a youth group. This is really good. Abe Boulay knows about this one. So this is our Christian ones. There's also some others like Ride Like the Wind and Sandy is another one, but I'm just leaving those out because they're not really. I have no intention of watching those, and I don't suggest them for anyone to watch, really. All right, then we have a few, I feel like we should have more than this, but just a few, of the Mormon. Yeah, I'll just write and make it a little easier. LDS. There we go. And I'll just add one more over here to kind of round it out. I think this one's like 76, somewhere in there. So Uncle Ben, 1978. This is like this could be a must watch this year. I haven't seen it in a while. I think this could be a must watch. Uncle Ben, but not good enough to put it there. The Phone Call, 1977. That should be a must watch for somewhere in the year of movie watching. It seems more like a spring, early spring type, but it's be a good one for this season movie watching. The Phone Call, 1977. About an adolescent. It's really good. Nervous about calling a girl he wants to go out with. This is a really good one. The Emmett Smith Story, 1976, is pretty good. Has nothing to do with number 22. And then John Baker's Last Race, 1976. So, and this is pretty fun. So these four, all Latter-day Saints films, all worthy. They're all good. All right, then we have the last ones are ones that are just related. Let's see, I'll just put season related. All right, so we have election. It is election season, so like this one is one of the best comedies of the 90s. Election 1999, Reese Witherspoon and Matthew Broderick's hilarious film. Is really, really good. Election 1999. Ava Lay told me about this one, and it's just really funny. And then we have the Back to the Future trilogy, Back to the Future 1995, and then Part 2 1999, Part 3 1990 because of the date, November the 10th or whatever it was. Falls here, so I did all three of these last year during this season. Probably won't do it this year, but definitely one that I would recommend doing, since you can't do it during Horror Fest, because it's also related to one of the dates is October, but you can't do it during Horror Fest, you know. So November's a perfect time to get these in if you want. All right, and then the last two here. This was Andy's feature presentation last night for Horror Fest Night 17, Halloween 2, 1981. This one I just added here because it takes place like mostly on November, like the early wee hours of November 1st. And then The Gates of Hell, a great horror film, 1980, great Italian horror film, a lot of gore in here and good music. And this one, Christopher George is in it. This one takes place on the Day of the Dead as well, or it culminates on the Day of the Dead, November 1st. So these two, notice you'll have, I got 2 horror films on there. So we have that horror fast, the 30-day fast before Horror Fest. This year, 22 Nights to Rock. But just because Horror Fest ends and you feel like maybe I need a break from that, not necessarily. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I probably do, for at least for the first week or so, but it's not, definitely don't completely abstain from horror, especially because you have Thanksgiving Fest, there's no horror, and then Christmas, for the most part, you don't do any horror besides Silent Night, Deadly Night, Black Christmas, Christmas Evil, stuff like that. So not a whole lot of horror movies for the after Horror Fest for the last 2 months of the year. So you may as well get some in during these 3 weeks, right? So these are just like 2 season-related choices for that. The JFK assassination happened on the 22nd of November, so I could put JFK up here, or like a JFK documentary, that kind of thing. So that's also a possibility. That's probably Veterans Day. I can't think of anything really that I would recommend for that. Not a war movie person, but if you are, go ahead. Alright, so that is our weirdest season of movie watching, but it does qualify as a season. I guess we could someday combine, just do one big November season of movie watching and just include Thanksgiving Fest, but I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's kind of its own little thing, and then this is just one season. This is the weirdest season. We can't have a break because it's too long, and then we have that little break back in early mid-March. That's really our only break for the whole year. It's not part of the year, but between years. Really, after Omen season and then spring season of movie watching. But this is just kind of a slow, kind of do what you want season of movie watching. Strange season of movie watching. Includes some second tier Christian films, some Mormon films with some cooler atmosphere in there, and then some season related. You can certainly go with, definitely bring back some Twilight Zones and MST3K type movies, but I can't think of anything really specifically that's fits in perfectly with this season. So this is the late fall season of movie watching. This year it's November 1st to the 23rd of November. There's your one must watch, and here's the others. So this is our preliminary video to break down this season of movie watching. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for, I think we already did a Thanksgiving Fest breakdown. I'll have to go back and look. If it needs any correction, I'll do one. I'll do another one, and then Christmas Fest is after that. So getting to the end of Horror Fest. Got to be ready for what's coming after that, but enjoy the rest of Horror Fest 2025. 22 Nights to Rock. This was recorded on night 18. Tonight's feature presentation was Blood Feast 1963. All right, guys. Take care. Thanks for watching.